that's just hilarious.
It's the best. It's the best.
Um,
It's the best.
if I could circle back to your early career, can you give us a quick, maybe just I suppose, a quick story or just an overview what it was like working on a couple of the other titles you did? Just because your body of work is really solid. Like, I mean, I was thinking about the number of films that I've seen you in, but really good films as well. Um, you know, Assault on Precinct 13. What was
Yeah,
that like working on that?
that was really fun. That set was really intense because I was working with a lot of, you know, they're thespians. The actors that were on that set, they all come from theater backgrounds. A lot of them, most of them, Fishburne and Hawk, and the film. When we were doing scenes, it was like a being in an acting class every moment of the way because you know sometimes scenes need to be a little bit planned out, put together when it's all coming together. And they were just on top of it all. The director didn't have to do much with all of these guys, and so I really enjoyed being a part of that. That to me is the best when it comes to acting. When you can be around great actors and they can you can kind of learn from them and grow from them as well.
And did you have to audition for that particular part, or did that kind of get written for you?
No, they called me and said they wanted me to do this role and play Smiley, and so I had a good time playing that role. Smiley
Yeah, this
did
is
everything in
this.
third. He spoke in third party all the time, and that was Smiley's thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a solid acting gig too, because I feel like from an acting point of view, and this is where I should have mentioned earlier when I was talking to you. I mean, you do the writing, the directing, the producing, but as an actor, you've got the comedy side, but then
Yeah.
you're doing some heavy films, which is impressive. Can you talk to about this is going a little further back, but Fast and the Furious?
Fast and Furious was amazing. I did the first Fast and Furious. Me and Vin, we had a great time doing the film. Paul, God rest the dead. We had a great time shooting that. It was amazing. The
I just
cars,
sort of
the energy of the cars was always, on that set. It was different, and the action of it all. It was such a big action film. On some days, I would just come in when I didn't have to work and just watch, the action scenes and stuff going on. So Fast is definitely a moment, a great moment, a great set.
did you have a favorite car that you saw on set?
Yeah, I love Vin's car. That black joint was mean.
That's awesome. Um, what did you realize? Like, I mean, from your point of view, did you think it was going to be like a huge franchise when you're on that? Did you think, hey, I think this has got a lot of legs, or was everyone relatively new, thinking this is just a fun
I
film
mean,
and
it
story?
was what people didn't realize is there's a huge underground scene for car racing, and I knew about it, from actually going to some of the car races out in Queens when I was young. But you know, once the film came out, it was a huge success, and I always knew that this film would do well because to me, it really didn't matter who was in the cars because the cars were the stars, and so that's why I didn't do the second film because I actually went off to do other things. I went on tour that year, and it was a decision that I made, and I'm happy with my decision. But it's become an amazing franchise, and when I didn't come back, it was because Vin didn't come back for the second one. Rob Cohen, the director, didn't come back for the second one. So I didn't know whether it was going to be the same franchise that it was. The first one was amazing, and we didn't know if the second one would be the same. And so, hey, 8, 10 joints later, they still rocking and rolling. So,
Yeah, they've really. I mean, that's kind of been a really good cash cow for the studio.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I we had some of Steven Seagal's guys on the chat recently, Bin Dang and Keone Waxman, and I saw a comment came up. You worked with Steven Seagal on Half Past Dead.
Yes, yeah. Me
Um,
and Steven, we did Half Past Dead. We shot that in Germany. I actually lived in Germany for about 2.5, 3 months shooting that. So it was that was an adventure to
what
say the
was the
least.
best? I was gonna say like that was a good experience. What was your best time on that?
It was crazy because Steven was going through some stuff at the time, and so it was like it was a different set. You know, the set was like closed off. You know, he was staying in a compound, and it was just very different. You know, it was very different. Sometimes Steven wouldn't be on set, you know, because of personal reasons and stuff like that. So it was a different shoot, you know, with that.
And I
But you
mean,
gotta,
just
you
because
know,
we're talking,
you gotta be professional. You go through it all, and it's a learning experience, you know, to go through these different experiences when you're on different sets, you know.
yeah. And I mean, if you're shooting in Germany as well, that's kind of like a different side to it as well. Overseas shooting. Um, we're talking about the acting. Is there any acting roles that you've got coming up that we can look out for?
Yeah, I just did a show of my guy Gotti's TV show Tales. And actually, my daughter she wrote the episode, and
That's
you know my daughter's a
congratulations.
writer. She's a screenwriter and an actress as well. So that was cool to be able to do that to act in something that my daughter actually had a hand in putting together, which was dope. So you know that's coming out this year on BET. And then I got some other projects that I'm working on that I'm actually you know producing behind the scenes.
Awesome. Well, let us know when we can give a shout out. Just a couple more questions. I mean, everyone's. I can see these questions coming in. Like Tim, I saw David had one come up. David Lipper. Uh, I always like to ask this question because I think it's really interesting. But from your perspective, how does an actor or a musician make it in Hollywood? Like, what would be your best advice for someone that's wanting a long-term career in the industry?
Work hard. That's it. You know, there's no magic trick to it. It really isn't. You know, everybody has a moment. You know, when you work hard and you put all your passion into, all your skill sets into the thing that you're passionate about, and it clicks at some point. And when it does, you know, you have your moment, and you have to take advantage of that moment. You know, in a big way. And so I wouldn't give anybody any advice other than just keep your head down and work hard. Outwork the next guy, outwork the next female, and you'll see it'll start to pay off.
And I mean, I think it's a great segue to go in that as well. I mean, how do you see Hollywood and NFTs and the side to, I suppose, blockchain and these really exciting technologies coming in? Do you think Hollywood's going to embrace it quickly?
Absolutely. You know, it's another way to advertise, you know, the film and get it out there. But also, it's a way for people to own a piece of that film and be a part of history and that legacy of whatever it may be. So, you know, at this moment, we're talking about, you know, this particular film, but I'm sure, you know, there'll be many films down the road that follow in the footsteps of Reboot Camp. Are we the
Yeah,
first to do this? I believe we're one of the first to do this, if not the first. Am I right in saying that?
I know this is a Hollywood first, and also
Yeah,
like it's breaking so many different I suppose grounds because we're actually doing it off the back of deleted scenes that obviously
yeah.
haven't been put out there as well. Just on that quickly, Nicole Aniston. A couple of people have sort of mentioned your name and Nicole. They're the hot tickets for the auction. They're the items they think are going to bid the highest. Are you going to be bidding on any other the other castmates' items?
I may bid on a few items. You know, I'm an NFT guy. I love NFTs. I have a cool collection, so I may definitely grab a couple of them.
What's your I mean, because you're definitely in the space with NFTs and things. What was your first reaction when you kind of took a look at what Mogul's doing?
Oh, I love it. I love what Mobile's doing. I think it's brilliant. You know, taking movie clips and turning them into NFTs is definitely the next wave. So these guys are right on top of it. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited to see you at the premiere. Guys, I got two more questions for Jerul before he's got to go. Any questions? A good question here. I was going to ask a new album coming up.
I definitely got new music coming. I'm about to start a project that I'm calling Mint Music Mondays, where I'll be minting my singles as NFTs, so y'all can own a part of Ja Rule's history as well, and it'll come with some cool utility. So, you know,
That
when I
sounds really
release,
interesting.
guys, go get it. Yeah,
And how do we kind of look out for these announcements? What's the best way to kind of keep track of what you're doing?
And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Icon. Ja Rule.
Awesome. Okay, I gotta
Yeah.
ask this last question. I always ask my guests this, and if you need 30 seconds to think about it, no problem. What is your best Hollywood story, or a really great Hollywood story for our audience?
Oh man, I got some crazy stories. I don't think I can tell them though. Um,
That's usually the answer.
it
That's usually
involves
the answer we
Michael
get.
Madsen. If you know anything about Madsen, then you know I probably shouldn't tell this story. This is a crazy one. It gets crazy.
What can you tell us?
It was just crazy.
Okay.
Madsen is uh he is a genius actor, but he's also very troubled, and I think the two go hand in hand sometimes because to get into these characters and to become these characters, you got to be a little bit crazy, you know. And Madsen, he's a sick genius, and
Okay.
when it comes to this acting thing, but sick is part of his genius.
So basically, we're just gonna put Michael Madsen and the red tape. We're not gonna say anymore.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Guys, we've
What
probably
up to
got
the
one.
madman too?
Yeah, no, no. Well, I think one of the things that people really like about yourself is you've stayed true to yourself the whole way through Hollywood, and you've kind of done it your way a lot. Um, Jarul, what's up? I'm just looking for our last question before we'll let you go. But I mean, is there any shout outs you want to do just while we've got you here on the chat and to our audience?
We got the address in here. Why you didn't put it in? Why we sitting here all this time, baby? Oh, what'd you say?
Is there any shout outs you'd like to do just while we've got you here on the chat before we let you go?
Big shout out to everybody in Reboot Camp, all the actors, everybody is part of the project, and Mogul. Good luck, man, with the drop of the NFT for Reboot Camp, and everybody in the NFT world, NFT space, man. I love y'all, all my fans and all my supporters, man. I love y'all. Let's keep doing what we doing, man. This is the sequel to Ja Rule, man. I'm coming back to do some amazing things. Well, actually, it's not. I'm not coming back. It's the sequel, so I'm this is gonna be fun. A lot of fun happening right now.
Well, we're really excited for the next stage, and thanks again for the chat, Jarul. It's been a real pleasure. I can't wait to see you at the premiere on the 21st. NFT guys, get into the NFT. Jarul's one of the NFTs with Reboot Camp, and have a great afternoon.
For sure, man. You too. Peace and love, everybody.
Thanks, guys, for joining us. Take care.
All right, y'all.
Like, comment, share the shut, and subscribe to JJ and JJ Backup.